I was born in this community. I was born in Santa Barbara. My father was a butcher here, grew up on the Lower East Side, went to Franklin Elementary School, Santa Barbara Junior High, Santa Barbara High School. I remember early on with my dad, that was way before nonprofits were hardly even around. It was the service clubs. And my father was part of the Milpas Merchants, part of the Kiwanis, and we'd go down Sundays, down to the park, and we'd do the pancake breakfasts for the homeless, for the people that were truly needy and hungry in this town. And so I grew up with a father and with parents who, that's the way this town operated. Now it's evolved into a situation where now we have nonprofits, not only in Santa Barbara, but throughout this country, who have picked up that mantle and carried it forward. When I started working for the company, Hutton, I was an economics teacher and capitalism made sense to me, and still does. I understood how capitalism works. You have certain skills, some monetize, you make money, it's all great. When I came more towards the end, what are we going to do next? The idea of a private foundation came up. I didn't understand how it would grab me. Once we sold a lot of the company and put the money in a private foundation, I saw what the real way to give back, how it really works. This nonprofit sector, CAC, the thousands of nonprofits, they give all of us a chance to give back to the community, not just with money, but with our time. I dove into this sector. I thought I was going to retire and make a few grants. It didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to me because I got excited. I got excited about the chance to get inside of a movement that makes such a difference. Capitalism is wonderful. The nonprofit sector is the heart of capitalism. Redistribution of wealth. What a scary word. It's not a scary word. It's not. It's what has to happen. For capitalism to work, we've got to give everybody a chance to have the dream, to move up. Well, unfortunately, money makes money, people. We all know that. And unless we redistribute it to those that don't have it and give them a chance, and the best way to give them a chance is what CAC is doing. That's why we're behind it so strongly. If we can come in and help the underserved, the people without the resources, at the ground floor with their children, give them the education, give them the tools to succeed, then we've distributed wealth in the proper way. And that's what's made me proud to be able to do this. That's what drives me. And it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm thankful that I can take it with CAC and other great groups like this to try to make a difference. The interesting thing about how I've approached this, when I first put the foundation together, I said, okay, so what are we going to do? Are we going to help the homeless, the hungry? Are we going to work with children in education? Are we going to realize how important the arts are for us as a people? And it was so hard for me to make that decision. So surprisingly, I backed off. I had grant committees do that. And instead, I used my skills to try to make a difference in the whole sector in a process kind of way. When I started this foundation, I looked around and said, okay, it's great. Private foundations, we put the money in and then we give it to Wall Street and we donate 5% of the asset value a year. What does that mean? Well, that means that nonprofits get 5%, Wall Street gets 95% to invest for us. And I looked at that model and I didn't think it made a lot of sense to me. So we started kind of ripping open the box a little and saying, well, why not take part of the assets, not just the 5%, but take part of the actual assets, and instead of giving them to Wall Street, why don't we invest them in the community itself? And so I spent a lot of my time over the last 16 years figuring out a way to actually invest our money directly in the community. We certainly did that, first of all, by making loans to nonprofits, low interest loans. Then we started buying buildings for nonprofits to help house them. We got involved with community banks to help make loans and be an investor. So we're kind of looking at philanthropy and the foundation world itself and saying, wait a minute, we have a lot of resources, and why not invest those directly in our community? And that's what I've been doing. That's what our foundation's been doing. It's been successful for nonprofits and successful for the foundation, which means successful for the community. And so my job now is to take that lesson and explain to other foundations. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to invest your assets in your community. It works, and we've shown it works. We are all in this nation, in this world together. If we don't think about others in need, if we don't work with other people, if we don't help raise all of us, we won't make it. We need to understand that it's so essential that if we have skills that monetize, if we're lucky enough to do well, unless we understand how important it is to give back and to help those that maybe are brilliant and have skills, but maybe they aren't so lucky, that society has given them the opportunity to be financially successful and find themselves struggling. If we don't help and bring everybody up, the whole system collapses. I've always believed and understood that helping others is really helping yourself. If we don't really understand that we're all in this together, we won't survive. We need to see that all of us are connected, and we feed off each other, and we need to give to each other. We need to make sure that we support each other, or the whole system collapses. I truly believe it. You can see it happen throughout the world, and I certainly think it's a mistake if we close our eyes to the fact that we need to be always giving back if we're in a position to do that, because it's good for us, it's good for the whole system. It just makes sense. It just completely makes sense. Main school. Oftentimes we just use words and we have hope, and we put some money out, we put some time out and hope everything's going to work. What we've done here together as a team with CAC is we've actually gone in to a community. We've taken students that are at risk for a number of reasons, and we've given them the tools together. We've made a difference, and that difference is now able to be measured. These kids, after 6 years, are now a success in school. They come to school reading, they have English skills, everything's changed for them. Their world's opened up for them. So now, can we break that cycle? You bet we can. Can we improve their opportunities going forward? You bet we can. And more importantly, have we made it better for us too by helping them? You bet we have. So this is not just, let's hope this works. We've shown it works. So now what do we need to do? We need to dig a little deeper and help a little more to make sure that we don't leave any kids behind. Because we've got the system to do it, and we've got the way to do it. We just need a little more help. I was dyslexic. I had some learning problems. I struggled. I continued to struggle. And all of a sudden, I remember to the day, I somehow barely got into school, into college, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it. And I remember sitting in the library, and all of a sudden reading a book, realizing what I was doing was just reading words instead of thoughts, and it's like something snapped inside of me. And my life changed dramatically from that point forward. I was able to read. I was able to excel. I was able to move forward academically, which meant it opened more doors for me. But if I wouldn't have been able to stay at it to that point, I would have fallen between the cracks. So I know how important it is for us to keep our kids engaged, keep them in an environment where they can be open to that time when things really do connect. And they will, with everybody. We just need to give them the tools and give them the time. And then, once again, everybody benefits.